Good morning, or if you're watching it back, welcome. I am doing a few lives this week, weekday mornings, as the coffee brews. I've got my coffee here in my favourite mug. Um, so today I wanted to talk about the three tiers of AI value, and while your board's probably only seeing one of them, it seems like every single conversation that's about AI in a boardroom collapses into how much will this save us? Um, and you can see endless reports about the layoffs and headcount reductions, but that's really only tier one. And it's not necessarily even true, I think, in terms of liberating productivity. So I'm going to give you my framework of three tiers of AI value and where your competitors might already be focusing and winning. Okay, so tier one, the thing that everyone talks about, and for your organization right now, this might be some good stuff for you. Okay, so this is doing the things that you do already, but generally doing them faster, more efficiently, more productively. So let me give you some examples of some great use cases that I see. So that might be you're a B2B sales team, you do deep research on your targets, um, and you might have had the junior in your team doing that research. Now, with an AI assistant, they can maybe look at 10, 20 times as many companies in a month that they could before. So you're qualifying potential suspects and prospects for your business, um, and doing that much, much faster, right? Um, we've all seen the customer service chatbots. We've probably all had a slightly mediocre experience with a customer service chatbot. But you can see the potential of having your query answered quickly, not having to search around someone's ill thought through website to find an answer, and getting something much quicker without the hold music or the inconvenience, right? And you can do it maybe like multitasking. And then you might have the kind of classic, um, I write some slides quicker, um, but is that necessarily better? Discuss. Um, but other little things I see, putting two versions of a contract side by side, getting the differences highlighted really quickly, looking for errors and inconsistencies in particularly complex contract bundles, that might be 200 documents, say, processing things that are incoming automatically and triaging them, and obviously code generation, right? Claude Code, Codex, pick your poison, whatever tool you're choosing to use, that has the potential to create lots of productivity gain. Now, maybe, let me know in the comments, but maybe you might appreciate a bit of a discussion on whether this productivity is really arriving or not, because we see a kind of AI burnout happening for some people where it doesn't reduce the number of mundane tasks they do, it just gives them more and more and more. But that would be a separate conversation, right? So tier one is doing the same things, but faster. And I'm not saying there's not value there. There is. It's quite tangible value. It's relatively easy to liberate. It might be a good place to start, but it's not the end game, right? If we go to the opposite end of the spectrum, tier three, I think there is an awareness of this in boardrooms, but it's vague and it's ill-defined. And this is the sort of existential crisis of our business might be disintermediated, or the Terminators are coming, or there's some doomsday sign here, and it seems so big and so complex that, it's a fear, but it's not turning into some tangible action. In terms of that long-term play, I think it's best to have a different frame on it. So the frame that I would use is to say, well, let's think about the business you would be if you were born today. If you were starting without any of the baggage of what you already have, how might you play in this market? How might you invent new marketplaces? How might you think it would evolve? Wouldn't it be cool if you could cut out the middleman? Wouldn't it be cool if you could be in the driving seat of this reinvention? So you're a research company. You've specialized in producing industry reports, very detailed, lots of great insights in there, distributed by producing documents, because in the old way of working, that was a relatively efficient way of disseminating insights, right? What's possible now? If people want insights, how might we serve them with insights in a completely different way? How might we become the trusted source of insight in a world of AI slop and hallucination? And probably isn't producing documents, but what is it? And how might you take your organization to evolve along thinking about what might happen there, right? So future thinking, I think futurists, futurologists, which one's the right term? But that future thinking about what might be possible here in an AI world. So that's tier 3. But I think the thing that people are missing right now is tier 2 that sits in the middle. So tier 2 is about improved decision making. So how might we do things better, right? The power of AI is that some of those things that you've had rules of thumb for in your business, because it's been mathematically possible to calculate the best outcome, but it's not been possible to do that in the window that's been required for you to make that decision in your business. So there's a supply chain disruption, and your experience planners or your kind of planning process rules of thumb tells you to take actions A, B, C. Now, it might be possible to reconfigure the network in a different way, but you just don't have time to respond today. But with AI-enabled tooling, you may find it possible to come up with new and better options assisted by your AI agents. Another end of the spectrum, so I do a lot of work around construction with people that work in construction. So planning for construction sites, a lot of time, effort goes into that, but then disruptions and changes always happen that require a replan. And that is very much reliant on the experience of that person running that plan. But in the future, algorithms, AI-enabled generative algorithms or machine learning, these tools that we have might be able to work the maths of the different scenarios, taking into account here are the constraints that really exist at this moment of time, and give you a better plan, right? A better plan that is not accessible to your team today because those decisions can't be made of the right quality in the time frame that exists, and therefore pragmatism wins. So I think the second tier, if your competitors are making progress there, there's a much bigger prize to be had than on the productivity efficiency gain piece. So let me just pop up a slide to do a little recap. Oh, can you still see me? Sitting in the bottom corner. No good, blocking the slide. Too small. But so tier 1, 3 tiers of value. Tier 1, productivity, doing the same stuff faster. automation, document processing, code gen, triage and customer services, right? Reduce the cost to serve, quickest payback, lowest risk. Do this stuff. It's good, right? I'm not saying it's not good. Do it, but it's not the only thing. Tier 2, where you don't want to lose competitive advantage, is doing the same better. Okay, you're augmenting the judgment of your experienced staff with insight that's scalable, that can be done in the time frame you need to make better decisions, or to personalize an experience that you wouldn't otherwise do, or pick up an error, right? So this might be redesigning supply chains in real time, it might be detecting risks, it might be retrieving different sorts of knowledge than you can in your business right now. The third one, so reframe it from the Terminators are coming, there's a scary, we might be disintermediated, company as it exists today is gone. Reframe this as, who would you be if you were reborn today? You're going to do some entirely new things. So you're going to reinvent your products or your operating model or your business model. You're going to create some new marketplaces. Biggest upside, needs the biggest conviction, needs some strategic thinking that your board's going to sign off, right? And I would say if you want to get going on AI, start with number 1. But if you want to have a roadmap of where you're going, then you need to think about all 3. If you want to have a bit of a deeper dive into this, then sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to be doing a deeper dive on this, and you can have the slide as part of that as well. So give me some comments, let me know what you think, and sign up for the newsletter. And I'll see you with your morning coffee tomorrow.